Just as the 1960s heralded a change in social and political consciousness, so these times are also heralding a change at a planetary shift. Hi, I'm Sue Hidalgo. I'm the artist of the portals. I'm also an educator. I founded the Energy Balancing Institute, teaching people professional healing arts, and I'm listed in the Top 100 Psychics in America book. I began working with portals in order to move energy for people. Well, what is a portal? A portal is a gateway. In computer science, it's a portal or gateway that links you to other sites. But in tradition, it's a gateway to an important place, like a church. I was reading a book called In Love with the Mystery by Anne Mortifee, and I'd like to read you a quote of hers because it embodies what I want to say about portals and archetypes. The gods and goddesses exist in all religions everywhere, and they are archetypal, energetic portals through which we can approach the unknowable, absolute mystery. They are expressions of love, light, life, and the law of things. Each one holds an aspect of that which can never be named. The force field they embody has power to influence creation. We cannot grasp how this occurs, but we know that it does. We see it, feel it, and experience it. Our faith and trust in these gods and goddesses quickens the vibrating matrix to attract, in response to our prayer, that which we need and intend. Again, Anne Mortifee, In Love with the Mystery. Portals developed as an extension of my interest in sacred geometry. Sometime in the 1990s, I began teaching a course on sacred geometry and healing with crystals and gemstones. The portals that I made were small grids, about 8 by 8 square. I still make about 25 versions of these for sale on our website. But one day I was over at a friend's house helping her to work on her dog. She'd taken these courses, and I noticed she'd gone a step further by making a grid into a large enough place for the dog to lay on, and that the dog was absorbing the energy really deeply into its aura. Now, a dog is somewhat of a conscious being, but not so willful, and the fact that just instinctively the aura would pull this energy in led me to the idea of beginning to make pieces that are much larger. Human size. These shapes are this height of an average woman, 5'6". So geometry in its own accord has a power. Most of the geometric shapes I work with are the flower of life, which is found in Assyria, it's found in temples in Egypt, it's found in Celtic churches, and it's also found in the works of Leonardo da Vinci. So these geometric shapes, the flower of life, plus all of the platonic solids, like the hexagon and the cube, are everywhere in nature. In Ayurvedic medicine, which is the medicine of India, and also in works of traditional Chinese medicine, as well as Western mysticism, these portals, energy, geometric shapes, make 5 geometric solids that have to do with earth, water, fire, air, and the combining of all of them in the ether. So you'll see that as you look at some of the examples, there's almost always a geometric shape of some form carrying the energy flow into the artwork. I can't understand exactly why they work, just like in the Mortifee quote, but they really do work. The small 8 by 8s made a 15-foot energy field that would last 7 to 8 days without any reinforcement at all. And depending on what was on it, the geometric shape and the stones and colors, it would pull in specific energies. So in the earlier portals that I made, they were just the flower of life grid. And I used stones in order to up the motor and keep the energy flowing for a long period of time. But very soon I began to ask myself, well, stones are hard to lie down on. What if I want to have my clients sit on a portal or use one on a massage table or a bed? how are they going to work with the stones on it? So I began to look for another motor to make the energy flow. And this is where I went back to my geometric training and said, oh, I'm going to use these shapes with more intent, and also to use energy flow from other systems all over the world. As a Reiki master teacher, Reiki is a system of healing from Japan that's widely known all over the world. I know that when I tune people to Reiki, the attunement will last an entire lifetime. The attunement symbols are words that speak to a different dimension and plane. So I began to work with Reiki symbols and other symbols from belief systems all over the world, such as Celtic symbols on some of the artwork, and also astrological symbols and the sounds of the chakras, which are natural portals in the human aura from the Indian idea of the human energy field. So you can put a portal, just lay it up like a hanging, or you could put it on a bed or massage table. As a tapestry, it creates an influence on the feng shui, or the energy flow of the space that it's in. And as something that you sit on, these ones that I've made, like this one in the chair, have a bottom circle and a top circle. The top circle is for the upper chest, and the lower circle is for the lower body. And they're based on infinity, or geometric shape of the figure 8. Instructions for how this is used is included in your purchase of the artwork. And the portal does the work for you 24/7, whether it's just hanging as a tapestry or whether you're using it actively. When you sit on the portal, you could listen to headphones and music, or you could wrap it up around yourself, or you could use it in the original venue in which gemstones and crystals are put on the body. How do I make these portals? Well, I start with a basic concept. What's the portal for? Is it for your health? Is it for your love life? Is it for wealth? Is it for healing? And with that basic concept formulated, then I choose colors, symbols, to try to get the energy flow to each and every time flow through each piece of art for you. I begin by working with that concept and spend many loving hours focusing on the portals and getting the energies just so. Speaking of the energies in portals, some of the first ones I made had some pretty amazing, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me, experiences along with them. I was making this one, which has got a stag in the middle and Celtic symbols around the edge of the 8. And as I was painting the stag figure in the center of the figure 8, I felt this sense, you know, that sense that there's something around you, and you kind of go, what is that in the room? So I looked over to the stairwell to my home office, and I saw this shimmering shape on the stairs, and it was a stag. Of course, I was painting one, so I wasn't that surprised, but it was the stag of Celtic mythology from my Scottish heritage. And this energy form came bounding down the steps and settled onto the portal that I was working on. And recently I was working on one with honeybees, the one that you see here in this video. And one night, in the middle of the night, I woke up with that sense, there's something in the house. You know that sense too, where you wake up and you listen with your ears and you try to see what's going on. And I found it with my inner vision, my psychic sixth sense. And it was in the art area, touching the portal that was on the table, and it happened to be this very odd figure. As I looked at it with my inner vision, I realized that it was a honeybee. It was the honeybee, Deva. Deva is the word for the angel of animals. And this Deva, which was so strong, was touching the portal to put the energy flow into it. So each and every piece of work that I do, I work very diligently with all of my gifts as a healer and as a professional psychic to get an energy flow to settle into the artwork for you. And people tell me all the time who come here to my office and see this black aura figure, they say, wow, I can really feel that. I can feel the wings on the angelic figure. I can feel how strong it is even 20 feet away. So I hope that as you view them in the shop today or online, you can also feel the power of it. You're welcome to contact me about something specifically made for you, and the shop owners will help you in that endeavor. I thank you for taking a moment to listen to my story about my artwork portals, how excited I am, and I hope it will help you in your healing as well. Thank you.